know about you, but I've never personally seen anyone eating a croissant at a basketball game, but I have seen them eating pretzels. I'm gonna show you how to make a pig in a blanket where the blanket is a pretzel. I'm gonna start these pretzel pigs in a blanket with some cocktail weenies and pizza dough. And as always, the recipe is in the description below. So I'm gonna wrap each of these guys in a strip of the pizza dough. What I did is I just measured about 16 inches on each side and cut it into long strips with a pizza cutter. Now the beauty of using pizza dough in this recipe is that's gonna help create our pretzel effect. So we're actually gonna boil this dough just like you would making a pretzel. When you boil it in the water, then we're gonna add salts and we're gonna bake them. So you get that nice pretzel flavor. I'm thinking about creating that circular look like you have on a basketball. So just kind of keep it wrapped in the center and then press down, seal the edges. And while we're rolling these, I'm bringing a large pot of water to boil, and I'm actually gonna add about 2 tablespoons of sea salt to the water. And then right before we dunk these in, we're gonna add some baking soda to get that pretzel effect too. I love pigs in a blanket. I grew up eating pigs in a blanket at all of my favorite football games, but unfortunately my family was not super into basketball. So I feel like this is our chance to redeem that, to eat lots of pretzel pigs in a blanket and enjoy March Madness. One thing I do love about March Madness is how you can do those brackets that you fill out to see if you can guess who's gonna win. And I always do that based off the color of the uniforms because I know very little about basketball, which actually never works. So it might actually help to do your homework on that. Don't take my advice. Okay, so we're on our last little roll here. We're really on a roll. And then we're gonna do the fun part, which is the dunking. Just like in basketball, but we're doing it in hot water with baking soda in it. So I have my water, it's almost at a boil. This is perfect because I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of baking soda. Woo! Okay, so now that we have these bubbles going, I'm gonna dunk our pretzel pigs in a blanket, and then we're gonna add an egg wash on top after we dunk them, and then top them with some toasted sesame seeds and salt. And we're gonna dunk these for about 30 seconds. And you can tell they're about ready to come out of the water when they start to float. So put these guys on the baking sheet. Okay, so I did these quickly, so I'm just gonna take the egg wash while they're warm, and then we're gonna top them with the sesame seeds and some yummy flaky salt. But again, if you want these spicy, you could add some chipotle powder. You could add some super yummy red pepper. Whatever you want to add on top to make these your own, go for it. All right, round 2 done. So a pretzel is one of my absolute favorite things to eat at a sporting event. I will crave it, especially when you see people walking by with those big soft pretzels and the yellow mustard. So good. So I love that we're combining pigs in a blanket, which are incredible to eat while you're watching sports, and pretzels. So this process of boiling them in the water with the salt and the baking soda is what really makes them pretzely, as opposed to if we just did an egg wash and salt on top. This is a total different cooking process that's gonna allow the dough to get that yummy pretzel flavor, and also when we bake it, that really pretty browning on the outside. And I'm trying to, if I can, when I put these on the baking sheet, to put them seam side down because that makes for a more even bake. And I feel like sesame seeds really give it that extra flavor as opposed to adding just salt. It makes it nutty and rich tasting. They're really good. All right, so we have our last batch. And I love this recipe too because it's simple, it's quick. You can use store-bought pizza dough, which is what I used in this recipe. So there's not a ton of ingredients. You can make more batches of them if your friends are like mine and they eat food really fast. So it's a super great game day recipe. All right, so I'm gonna put these guys in a 425-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes or until they're that dark golden brown color, which is what you're looking for, and they will be ready to serve. Our pretzel pigs in a blanket are hot out of the oven. They look so good. They've got that nice, pretty browning from the egg wash. You can see the flaky salt and the sesame seeds that are getting in all the nooks and crannies. They smell so good. And I have our classic yellow mustard to dip these guys in. They look like little fluffy basketballs, and they are a perfect way to enjoy a basketball game. These are a slam dunk. I wanna see how you style your pretzel pigs in a blanket. Just tag @PopKitchen on Instagram and comment below. I wanna know what you wanna see me style next.